I'm Cynthia James, and this network is about changing lives one woman at a time. This is the time for women emerging on the planet, that we're changing communities, families, neighborhoods, and in fact, the world one woman at a time. And so I get the honor to introduce you to extraordinary women that inspire me. My guest today, we hadn't met until today, but I saw her online and I was intrigued and excited about who she is. So let me just, Lisa Addeo.
Addeo.
Addeo. Okay. All right. Lisa Addeo.
On my website, on my email signature says rhymes with Daddeo. So that's.
Oh, okay. She's been described as a world-class musician, and her music as tenderly intimate, a joy to listen to. Her fans have commented, "This is music that comes from the heart with soul." Prepare to fall in love with Lisa's music. It will take you to a place you'll want to stay.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
It is nice. From intimate supper clubs to Radio City Music Hall and every type of venue across the US and Europe, Lisa's music touches audiences of all sizes. "I adore playing live," she says, "as my music fills the room, the audiences fill my heart." So whether you're seeking smooth jazz music, music from the great American songbook, piano instrumentals, or ethereal meditative music, Lisa offers over 100 songs, something for every mood. She is a composer. She is a pianist and a vocalist. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you. Wow, what an intro that was. That was beautiful. Thank you for having me, Cynthia. It's nice to meet you.
You as well. Well, and I told you before we started recording that, you know, smooth jazz is something that touches my soul. Music touches my soul. I think it's a language that defies culture, age, race, everything. Definitely. So I want to know, before we get into what, you know, how you got to be where you are, I want to know your history. Where did you come from? And did you start playing music when you were very young?
I did. I started playing music. My mother and father had to go out of town for a funeral. So myself and my sisters went over to her friend's house. My mother's friend had a piano. She taught me one song. It was Down at Papa Joe's, and I just played it over, and it was like so much fun. I was drawn to the piano. I came home, played that over and over and over again until my family said, "Play something else." So I started playing it backwards, which was kind of funny. Yeah. So my mother said, maybe we should get her lessons. So I just took to it like a fish to water. I always loved doing it. And it's so funny because I was going through some old files and I found when you go to school and they ask you to do an occupation report, like what you want to do when you get older, I wanted to be a pianist and singer and entertainer. And I think I was, in sixth grade. So how old are you, like 12? And I wrote down, I love playing the piano because it helps me deal with the stress of the day. I'm like, what stress do you have at 12? But obviously I enjoyed doing it. So I've always wanted to share that. And it's kind of like when you see a good movie or you have a new face cream and you call your girlfriends, "Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this." It's just something that I like and I want to share with my friends, and I'm just grateful to share my music with so many people right now. So
yeah, well, I love that, and I want to talk about the fact that there's a lot of people out here who are entertainers, singers, composers, sure. And their stuff never gets to the masses, right? So, what is it do you think in you that was called to go to the next level?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, I never gave up. Every time I thought, maybe I'll do something different. Music chased me around. You have this still small voice inside of you that says, go here, do that. And all of a sudden I'd find myself, the phone would ring. Do you want to play Radio City Music Hall with Liberace? I'm like, yes, please. Did you have to ask? And so then bam, I'd be back on the music track. And every time I started to go, oh, it's not really going anywhere, it would bring me back in. And And I really thought I loved it so much, and that was my dream. And the other side of that I know that I can tell everybody who's watching that has dreams of aspirations of reaching masses, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. You don't know what's right around that. It might be right around that corner that you can't see. You just persevere. I threw everything up against the wall. Some stuff stuck, some didn't. I mean, I got so many no's, I can't tell you. You know, I'd go audition for stuff that wasn't even something that, you know, was my forte, like, you know, musical theater is not, I love music. And there was an audition. I'm like, I'll go there. And they said, well, we see you more as a, what would they say? Not a musical theater person, but more like a concert, you know, lounge person. I said, well, that's kind of what I am. So when you know, they say Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before he figured out lightning, and every time he learned from that failure. So when you get a no, that helps define who you are as an artist. So you know, I'm still figuring that out. I'm still growing. I'm still changing. I'm reinventing myself. It's a fun journey. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy it, because when you're 90 and you look back, I think and that I ask myself that because I've heard interviews with older people and they look back and they have regrets. I don't want to have any regrets. So I'm doing what what my heart calls me to do. So
I
that
love
brings me joy. And when people like it and they say, oh, this is my vibe, I love this, or this really touched me, or it's exactly what I needed at that moment. It's like, so that's my calling. That's what I'm supposed to do. So just keep going. You'll find yourself. You'll find your voice. You know, I sang opera for 2 years and I was trying to do pop songs with an operatic voice and it didn't work, you know. So I had to illegitimize myself and, you know, I figured it out. So you just keep going. It's a fun journey. It's a fun journey.
Well, what I love is you mentioned the still small voice, you know, and you mentioned the word calling. And I think we all have encoded within us a calling, something that says, this is what you've come here to do. And this and the universe will sync up with you if you do what you just said, which is to keep going. And so I guess I want to ask you, though, were there moments where you were questioning or doubting what was right for you?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's where I was talking about, you know, and what you said, to speak to your point, is you need to allow that voice. You need to allow for you to listen to that voice. So yes, there were moments, there still are moments that I'm doubting and wondering, and is this the right song? Is this the right hook? Is this the right bridge? So take a break. Go do something that gives you pleasure. You know, I play golf, I walk the beach, I work out, I do things to involve my body in activities. You know, I like to cook, I enjoy time with friends. Get away from it, then come back. It's kind of like when you go on vacation or you go visit somebody and you come home because you're so tired of being home, like we all have been. And you come home and you go, well, this is kind of nice. This isn't so bad. So take a break from it, come back, reassess, re-aim, reboot, and ask yourself, what do I really want? What is my heart telling me? What is that still small voice inside telling me? Be quiet and listen.
Yeah, love it. Love it. So, you know, I work with a lot of women and a lot of them have big dreams and they put them off for various and sundry reasons. And a lot of it has to do with caring for others instead of caring for themselves. So from your perspective, I mean, you travel all over the world, you're with a lot of different cultures and a lot of different people. What do you think is the biggest challenge that women face in terms of stepping forward and stepping into their greatness?
Well, we're all Wonder Women. Every woman I meet, we're all the same, really. It doesn't matter age, color, race, creed, ethnic background, anything. We're all the same. We all think, we all can see where we can do it all. So the discipline of saying no, which is difficult because we all want to care. We have that maternal instinct. We all want to care. You see somebody you really want to help, and we spread ourselves too thin. So the difference between, you know, the business side of, like, for me, my marketing and my social and all that stuff, and the creative side And then where's Lisa time in there? So that's where it's important to take time for yourself. If you meditate, if you just want to lay down and watch the clouds go by, 15 minutes, just go out on your patio or wherever. Do something, pet your cat, something that brings you a little bit of joy, so we can get filled back up to give, because we're givers. Every woman I know is a giver, and it's lovely. And everybody, I look for, it's interesting, when you look for the beauty and the love in somebody, you will find the beauty and the love in somebody. So if you look for the opposite, you'll find that too. So it's trying to stay disciplined. There's a discipline, and you need to talk to yourself a little bit, as if because you know your own answers. All you have to do is just, like we said, kind of be quiet and allow them.
Hmm. You sound so grounded and so spiritual, and it's
We all get off track sometimes. 10 hours. I'm like, that was my hair, and so yeah, we do our best, right?
totally. So you are a creator, and you create music, and so is there a process that you have, because every writer, every singer, everybody I know who's an artist, they create and they'll hit a wall, but then they'll do something else. What's your process for just allowing the music to come through you?
I you just start, you sit at the piano, and then you hear something. I had a song that went to #1 this month last year, and I sat down at the piano, and I was just practicing and noodling, and I went, and then all of a sudden I heard something, and I went, oh, well, no, that's not it. No, that's not. Oh, that's it. And then I wrote the song "Listen to This," which went to #1. I'm so thrilled to say, on the smooth jazz charts. And so I'd say sit down with your instrument and practice. Give yourself, okay, I'm gonna practice from 10 after until the half hour. See what happens. See what you hear. And then, because that 20 minutes is going to turn into 45, and that 45 is going to turn an hour. And then before you know it, it's going to be dark, and you're like, wow, that was really fun. And then you'll get some ideas. So yes, I create music, but I also interpret, others' music. I love the Great American Songbook. So I just finished a show. It's actually airing this week. It's called Playing Favorites with Lisa Addeo on Sirius XM, Seriously Sinatra. And that was a thrill to do. I'm so honored that the Sinatra family invited me to do that. So I've always loved Frank Sinatra and his music. I'm a huge Frank fan. So I interpret those songs. So don't be afraid to play other people's music. And then put your own twist, that's where you go find your voice. You sit at your instrument, you sit at the piano, you sing to whatever you hear. Sometimes, I remember I was working out in Santa Monica, and I wrote a song called "What You Know About That," but it didn't have a title. And I went, ba-ba-doo-ba-da-dum, da-da-da-da, ba-ba-doo-ba-da-bum-bum-bum. And I thought, da-da-da-da-da, what goes there? And I couldn't think of it. And I'm climbing the stairs, and I've got the song in my head. And so I was multitasking, doing my music and Lisa time, right? So this man came up to the top of the stairs, and these stairs, they kick your butt. So he comes up to the top, and he's like, I did it. What you know about that? And I went, that's my title. What you know about that? So there was my title. So you just keep going, and you pay attention to it. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your desires, as well as loving the people around you and paying attention to those important to you. That spread ourselves too thin, right? But it's a discipline.
Yeah, it is a discipline. Well, but it's also listening. It's also, you were going, I know there's something here. And instead of getting freaked out about it and trying to force it, you just kept opening to it and I know those stairs you're talking about.
There's cement ones and there's wood ones. Oh, they're neither one. You think, oh, the wood's going to be easier. Nope.
No.
It doesn't work like that.
So you are a successful woman. And I just want, how do you manage relationships in your life? You have this career, you're busy, you're doing all of this. How do you manage opening to relationships that are supportive for you on any level?
Well, once again, I go back to that still small voice. And if it feels right, then it's right. To, women, you said you've interviewed 17-year-old women. And I think choosing our life partner, our husband, our partner, whatever you're choosing, it's probably one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. So because you have this person in your space a lot, and it's a very, very important decision. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Hard to say when you've been in a relationship with this person for 2 years, and it's, well, he does this or she does that, and I'm not really sure that's right for me. I'm not really sure. Guess what? It's not right for you. So once again, it's listening. It's taking the time with yourself. Take yourself for a walk. Take yourself for a meal. Take yourself for a coffee. Sit, look at the trees, commune with nature, whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel good, so you can relax and allow your true desire and your heart song to be heard,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Beautiful. So before I ask you my last question, I want you to tell our audience how to find you, how to find your music. And ladies, I want you to know, I expect that you're going to go there and download her music and find out where she's playing so you can go hear her. So how do we find you?
Great. Well, you can go to my website, Lisa Addeo. It's ADDEO.com, lisaaddeo.com. I'm also Lisa Addeo Music on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and I'm kind of all over, socials. My music is everywhere. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. So you can go there. And what was the other question? I can't remember.
That was it. How can they find you? That's what I care about. So I ask the same last question of every guest. And it's like, when you think about women awakening, what is the one thing you want them to know?
What is the one thing I want them to know? Trust yourself.
Mm.
Trust your intuition. Listen to your intuition. It's your gift to yourself. I think that about sums it up. I wrote a song called Her Intuition.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I used to volunteer for a lot of women's groups in Los Angeles and Arizona, where I lived, and we worked a lot together. So the biggest thing that came through was trust yourself, listen to your intuition, listen to that still small voice that speaks to you in the feminine tone, and trust it, go with it, and don't listen to anybody else except your own heart, because you know what's right for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you said yes. I'm so grateful that you're here. Lisa Addeo, you are wise and deep, and it's not a surprise to me that your music touches hearts and souls because it's your nature.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. So thanks for reaching out, and I look forward to meeting with you again.
Absolutely. So ladies, we do these every week. Come back and listen to the amazing women that I interview. And I want to leave you with a thought. You are a unique imprint. You are original, powerful, dynamic, mighty, and magnificent. Make no mistake about it. You are here for a divine purpose and to deliver the gifts that nobody else can deliver. So step forward, awaken to your potential, and say yes to life. We're all waiting for you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye.